Welcome back to Open Your Eyes on a cool, should I say cool Wednesday morning? A hot Wednesday morning. We're about now to venture off into our first topic of the morning. The Ministry of Education and Partners for National Hand Washing Day Public Education Campaign. So we're getting that started. And to tell us more about it, Yvonne is in with us, Health and Nutrition Coordinator at the Ministry of Education, and Miss Jessie Young, who is the coordinator who's a coordinator at the Belize Red Cross. Good morning.
Good morning.
And welcome.
Good morning.
National Hand Washing Day. And everybody is supposed to be on that rim. And this is where we were talking about the positive intervention. Not a lot of people know how to wash their hands, but we're getting that started.
Yeah.
Let's venture off there.
Okay, the Ministry of Education, through its the teachers, and will be having a National Hand Washing Day tomorrow. It is to create an awareness in regards to the proper way to wash hands and when to wash hands, how to wash hands. Because many times we say, oh, we don't wash we hand because we
Sprinkle water.
you know, sprinkle water and wipe it right back in our clothes or something. But really and truly, sometimes we're not even wash hands. We don't even wash hands. We would tend to say, okay, we don't need to wash our hand because we never made it. Probably lick up a finger or eat certain ways.
Or think of what we touch as
Or
dirty.
think as what we touch as dirty. So we're hoping that we know that we want to make an impact, and countrywide in all schools from pre to secondary, we're asking teachers to cooperate with us and promote hand washing. And hand washing in the fullest sense. Have them do activities in regards to hand washing, lesson plans. We have put together a couple lesson plans and sent it off to the schools through the district education centers and to the managers. And these lesson plans will be age appropriate. You know, when you're thinking about preschool, you're thinking about the primary level, you're thinking about secondary level, there's certain ways how you bring across information and trying to change behaviors for young people or people in general. And they in turn can go back to their homes and talk to their parents about what were their experience.
And they'll watch mommy and daddy and say, you're not doing it right.
They do.
Because that's what they do. But this is also, you know, I think people assume that this is just a part of the recent events with the current pandemic. But in fact, you were saying that the WASH program has been going for quite a while now. Tell us about that.
Okay, we have a technical committee that consists of people from Ministry of Health, Agriculture, Ministry of Education. We have people from Red Cross, from UNICEF, from PAHO, and from SIF. All these people are great players, because when we do teacher training, when we're planning any teacher training, we all come together and we discuss what we're going to be talking to them about in regards to the health and hygiene and the wellness for our children. We have done some work in the past 2 years where UNICEF had pledged some support, giving schools like a renovated bathroom facilities, and they'll put in nudges where children, you know, footsteps where not people know, okay, I don't use the bathroom, I need to go and wash my hand, because the footsteps are taking them to the bathroom facilities. But we have also, you know, done a lot of teacher training, teacher training in that regards. Whenever I go to schools, I am the lead person that when they see Miss Scott coming in, they are saying, okay, you're going into the bathrooms now to check to see what's happening. And they know that when I say, okay, I smell a stench, something is not happening here. What's happening? And I would ask them, and they would say, okay, miss, we'll get it cleaned up, or there's a problem that we need to remedy.
And this is because, I mean, hygiene and hand washing is so important in terms of reducing the transmitting of a lot of diseases. I mean, the kids usually have an outbreak of, they call it the stomach illnesses. they usually have some pink eye that will go around.
Vomiting.
We had the hand and foot disease at one point in time. And all of these things can be prevented if they're doing the proper washing, right?
That is true.
So how have we been monitoring since you implemented the WASH program?
The Belize Red Cross has been doing what we call FAST. It's a tool under WASH.
Okay.
It's the Participatory Hygiene and Sanitation Transformation.
Okay.
And we have worked in over 30 schools,
Yeah.
training students, teachers. Miss Cad is one of the person that has been trained in the methodology of this tool. It's all drawings, and the drawing tell the story.
Okay.
So you don't need to know how to read or how to write. You look at the drawing and you tell the story. You get to color it,
Nice.
you know, and so that you can pay more attention to it. And it's very, very user friendly.
Yeah.
And so it talks about hand washing, which is a big part of it. The hygiene and sanitation on a whole,
Yeah.
how to properly dispose of your garbage. And so we are hoping that the schools that are trained since 2012, we had just recently completed 14 more schools in the Belize district.
Wow.
And we've trained in the Corozal and Orange Walk district to how to use this tool. So that was long before this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we hope to continue, and through the multi-sectorial body that we all sit on with the Ministry of Education and Ministry of Health, we are hoping that the teachers and the community leaders would take ownership of this hand washing activities and the hygiene program on a whole, you know, and promote it in the schools because it's very, very, you know, most of the diseases are caused by not properly washing your hands.
You're right there in your
And
arm.
again, if the water is not safe as well to wash your hands, then you are also defeating the purpose. So that's a big part of it as well,
And
to
if you don't
make
use
sure,
soap.
right, that the water is clean.
Yeah.
And so we even teach them how to treat their water if the water is not clean. We have done testing for wells, you know, cleaning of wells, treating them, building skirts and cover for them in the Corozal and Orange Walk
Yeah,
district.
exactly where I want to go, because you know, it's very important. People don't know how important the water they're using to wash their hands with.
Exactly,
And there are people who are handling food. There are people who it's in your everyday home, your everyday household. Let's venture off there. There are a lot of people in the rural villages, not with internet, so they're able to watch these things.
Yes.
Then again, the Belize Red Cross and the Ministry of Education venture off into every nook and cranny of this country.
Yes.
Let's talk about safe water to wash your hands. If I've got a well, how do I treat my water?
What we usually will do as the Red Cross, we work closely along with the Ministry of Health, and we will test those wells because some of the wells are built like just flush to the ground.
Yeah,
and
right
so
there with
all
the
the water from the ground would run into those wells.
Wastewater
so
goes there.
for sure those water are not safe. So we will test those water with the Ministry of Health, and then we would treat those wells. And then we build skirts and covering. But in the event that you don't have a well, or you can't afford to build a skirt or a cover, then you have to use like 2 to 3 drops of Clorox in a 5-gallon container with water and let it sit for a while. And then you use that to wash your hands. So we have donated like jerry cans to the Ministry of Education, and those can be used in the schools that doesn't have any kind of running water or anything. Those can be filled with water and used as running water, because running water is the safest way to wash your hands. You know, than from using a bowl or
we're
something.
gonna do a demonstration in a bit, but we have to make do with studio.
But as you rightly say, if we don't have clean water, then it defeats the whole purpose of washing your hands.
So we start first with clean water. Now let's come back to the threat at hand, because you know, we have seen so many ads and stories and information about hand washing. And it's important that we get it right.
Yes, we
So this is where the National Hand Washing Day came about. Now, it was originally scheduled for later in the month, but it was moved up due to the current threat.
Yes.
Talk to us about that.
The day really will be focusing on having teachers do lessons that is geared towards the students.
Okay.
If you're looking at a preschool or like an infant one level, you know you need to have some sort of activity where they are saying or doing something with their hands, right? And we have lessons that we have sent that includes like, this is the day, this is the time you wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. Or you'll be singing like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, E, F, G, E, F, G, and you're singing like that 26 letters, right? And you know in that time when you're showing the child how to wash your hands, it's like 26 seconds.
Okay.
And then you're doing like this is the way you lather your hands, lather your hands, lather your hands, or this is the way you rub your hands, you know?
Yeah.
And then you'll be doing that and count, like in your mind, you're saying 5 times, and then you're doing this.
Yeah.
And then you're showing them that they need to do their thumbs, and then washing here, washing there, you know? You're making up, like, doing interactive stuff like that for the smaller children.
Yeah.
But apart from that, what I've seen interested in having kids' attention is when they do a little video. And probably they'll see this little video and say, okay, I want to be like,
I want to do that too.
And then the posters, of course, that plays a role.
Yeah.
So the posters has to be just clear posters, not a lot of words and things, but pictures. The pictures say 1,000 words.
Yeah.
And then when you go into the primary level, you're looking at discussions, having a lot of discussions in regards to why you wash your hands, when you wash your hands, and okay, we wash our hands because we have already finished our supper or eaten. We said, no, you wash your hands after fooling with your animal, or you wash your hands, you're playing outside hopscotch, or you're skipping or something, you need to wash your hand, and you need to be aware of certain dirt or germs that is happening. So what we could do is do activities where you would have like a bowl with black pepper. And then sometimes some people would say, okay, put a little bit of soap in it, and when you dip your finger in it, you'd see that black pepper just disperse.
Yes.
Right?
And
so
that's what the soap does.
Yes, this takes away the germ.
Yeah.
And then when we go into the secondary level, no, it's more, you could do like, they could do campaigns from the different classes and make it a whole school or an individual classroom presentation where they do posters or they go into discussion forums and things like that.
So, you know, we all learned when we were kids that you needed to wash your hands. You knew you were supposed to wash your hands definitely before you eat, definitely after you use the bathroom, maybe if you were playing outside before when you come in. But it's two things. It's adding on extra times that you wash your hands, like how frequently, and also how to do it right. Talk to me about how often we should be washing. Like, should I wake up and wash my hands? Should I, set a timer and do it every half hour? Or, like, what is a good guide for people to understand?
Well, for me, I am doing it every step of the way. If I come out of I came in here, I wash my hands.
Yes,
I'm going outside, I'm going to wash my hand. And if I can't find somewhere to wash my hands, I'll use a little bit of sanitizer until I could get to a bathroom where I could actually do the hand washing. But I would suggest that people don't just do it after eating or after going to the bathroom, but do it more often. Find a time in your mind, you're saying, I was here and I was in the bus and my hand was just right around. And I was walking and I was holding on to the railing by the overpass. You have a lot of children coming that way. Or I was, I'm in a snack shop area where I'm buying tacos or buying gotchas or something, and I'm rubbing my hands on these tables and things,
Yeah.
you know, the dirt, the
But
germs.
even
will
the
be-
supermarket, people touch stuff and put it back,
it back.
all
They
the
do.
time.
Yes, yes.
And that's what we
The,
don't. We
really,
don't
the carts, the shopping
The
carts,
shopping carts.
people hold those
Public
You're
places,
right.
Exactly.
doorknobs.
yeah.
doorknobs.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they're saying that the doorknobs, the doorknobs are where the germs
Yeah.
is held more. So you have to be constantly cleaning your doorknobs at home, not only where you work, but at home or at school. So I would advise the teachers to practice that tomorrow also, cleaning up after.
And if you
know,
don't
after
have to
themselves.
turn a doorknob, use like another part of your body.
Right.
Open the
Yeah.
door.
Right. Right.
With your
Because we don't think of these high risk areas.
No, we don't.
Even for the facet, you can use your elbow to turn. If it's the facet
If
that
it's
has if it's the wrong one, then it's different. You can use a piece of paper towel or a tissue to open it and close it after you're done. But a lot of people don't like to wash their hands before going to the bathroom. You need to wash your hands before and after the bathroom. After using the bathroom, before eating, after eating,
Yeah.
playing outdoors with your animals. You need to wash your hands. So we need to enforce that. Before this hand washing day tomorrow, we always go to fairs and the agricultural show,
Yeah.
Yeah.
health fairs in general, and we promote hand washing at these fairs for kids and
So
students.
let's while we're promoting hand washing, which is extremely important, also hand drying is extremely
Yes.
important. So let's
Yes.
venture off there.
Yes, because a lot of people would wash their hands and then they, as Ms. Cad mentioned
Pack their
earlier,
clothes.
on their clothes.
Yeah.
It defeats all the
You
purpose
just put
again.
all the germs
So
back,
if
yeah.
you do not have any
Reapply 'em.
tissue to dry your hands, and of course you need to dispose of those tissue in a safe place as well, you have to air dry your hands.
Yeah.
If you don't have a tissue,
just do-
you have to air
Just do
dry
this,
your
air
hands.
drying
Just
your
air
hands.
dry it?
Yeah. Because you have a lot of kids, what we see from schools is that a lot of kids, teacher, I've just washed my hands. But then when you look at them, their nose were running and
Farm wet.
everything is wet and all right in their
Yeah.
dirty clothes.
But
And
it's true. I mean, we really don't. I mean, like since we've been hyper aware of reducing the transmission of this virus, you start thinking of all the surfaces that people come in contact with, and you start thinking of how many times you touch them, and then you touch yourself, or you touch your face, or you know, and so it becomes more evident that you just need to be really careful.
Yeah.
Now
And it's
you said
horrible.
to use paper or air dry. Now we know the common practice in households is that you have a towel, a hand towel that everybody uses.
No, that is definitely, that needs to be ruled out.
Yeah.
Because too many people use one towel, and the towel, it's, especially if you don't wash your hands properly, that everybody wash their hands properly. They would just run in the bathroom and they're done, and
Yeah.
they go and wipe their hands on the towel, and you use the same towel, so you get all that germs from that towel. So we rule out towels. It has to be paper towel or air drying your hands.
Oh, everybody's towel. Everybody has their own.
Well, even that, how regular do you change that towel?
That's true.
You know, are you going to change it daily or? So we really don't want to promote that towel.
So it's
You
better
know.
to get the disposable paper.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Use it just
Right.
like you do in public restrooms. Use it and throw it away.
And then also I'd like to say that having the pumps, it saves a lot for schools.
Yeah.
The pumps, and then they could just use to pump out the
air.
the
soap?
liquid, the hand
Okay,
soap.
so dispenser.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
and then having the pumps, because honestly, they might say soap, and the soap gets all like with the water, it just melts away,
Yeah.
or the soap gets lost and it drops on the ground, or
Yeah, I was
something like
thinking,
that.
how safe is bar soap for hand washing?
Not too safe either. There's the myth that they say that soap doesn't carry germs, but that is not true. You know, so we would strongly recommend using the liquid soap. So in the hygiene kits that we are about to get, we are putting in hand soap, liquid soap.
Okay.
Why we are not putting sanitizer in our kit is because sanitizer is a secondary method.
Oh.
You know, washing hands with soap is the most important part of it. And then you can use a sanitizer if you are not anywhere near where you can wash your hand. But as soon as you get somewhere where you can wash your hand, please wash your hands. And it's all about behavior change, because you can feel when your hands need to be washed.
Yeah.
You know, you feel that dirt. And
Yeah.
so, and
So,
so we
I
promote.
think that's one of the interesting things, because I'll be honest, I argued with my 5-year-old niece this weekend about this very same.
Yeah.
She said, I can just use sanitizer,
no,
Tia
no.
Marley. I said, no, we're washing our hands.
Right.
So I think because of the availability of sanitizer, we think that that's as good. But what you're saying is,
No.
first step is soap and
and
water.
water.
Washing your hands,
Yes. that is the first
Sanitizer
thing.
is if you absolutely
It's
don't have
secondary.
anything.
Running
Yeah, if you
water
don't
is-
have any. Yeah.
So what, one of the things that they were promoting as well is are the properties of sanitizer. So you're looking for 60 to 70% alcohol.
Alcohol.
All
yes.
right. So what about your soap? Because in the home, the first thing you'd go probably to some people go to the kitchen and use an Action. So
Yeah,
so
they do.
what about properties for soap? Soap the soap? Is that what we're saying here?
Well, I guess that's how people see it out there. Is if as long as it is a soap, it's a soap, and I can wash my hands with it.
But?
But you have to be careful that maybe, and try to look for soap that is antibacterial or something like
There we
that
go.
to wash your hands. Not just any soap.
Yeah. So the time makes a difference. Can you explain why? We wash our hands and maybe we try to get all the areas,
But we
we do it in 5 seconds.
20 seconds.
Why does the
least.
time make a difference?
Because you're taking out all the germs, you're washing, you're lathering, you're bringing up and then you're in between your, you
The
might
creases
have
of
on,
the
have
creases
certain
of the
things
fingers.
that stays in there.
Yeah.
And then you're going to the back of your hands
All the way to the wrist.
and all the way to the wrist, and then you're looking at your nails,
Fingernail.
taking out the germs from out of the nail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, it takes a while, but if you know what you're doing, you do it properly, you are not even thinking about the 20 seconds that
Yeah.
you're taking to do it.
And one of the important thing is that you have to make that soap it has to be soapy,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that is what lifts the germs from your hands. So if it doesn't make that lather and that sod, then
Yeah.
it doesn't do
Feel like you're
a
washing,
good
yeah.
job. You have to make
Okay.
it very soapy, so, and then you rinse.
All right, so we are going to go through the very detailed process of hand washing, and we're going to slow it down even more for you so that you can learn it and practice it at home.
Yeah.
Right?
And for tomorrow,
Yeah,
tomorrow we would hope that they would practice this is the proper way of hand washing.
that's right. Okay, so we're going to talk through the steps, right?
Okay.
All right.
Now, we've said very clearly, and I want to take the time to say that again, that ideally what you want is pouring water. You don't want to be dipping into, I'll do it for you. You don't want to be dipping into something as we're doing here, but we don't have a sink in studio.
Yeah.
So we're
Yeah.
making do, right?
Oh, yes.
Let me do this. All right.
So
Well, let's hope it works, right?
Just pump up.
Now the soap isn't cooperating. And you need soap. That you don't
yes,
want
you
to
have
just
to
use
have
water.
soap. No, you
Need
can't
soap.
just use
Yeah, the
water.
pump isn't working.
Nice.
All right, we'll do
Okay.
old
We could just
school.
open
Wanna pour it out,
Old
yes.
school.
We'll
Uh-huh.
do old school. Right?
Okay. So now,
So the first thing is to wet your hands.
First thing, wet hands first.
Wet properly.
and then
Then you add the soap.
Then soap. All right.
Make sure you make a good ladder.
Yes. Well, we did a lot of.
All right, so we are doing palm to palm first.
nice and soapy.
Okay.
And then you're doing it in between,
In between the fingers.
right? You're doing both fingers, right? And then you go do the thumbs,
Thumb.
Thumbs.
do the
One.
other thumb,
So whatever you do on one side, you do on the other side.
And then you go here to the back and up to the wrist.
All the way up to the wrist.
Yes, and then you do the other side, right, all the way up to the wrist. And then you go on like this,
The cupping.
the cupping, right? Doing this again.
Okay.
And then you're cleaning the nails. And then you're done.
That's it. That's
Right,
20
so.
seconds already. Did
About 20
anybody
seconds.
time us?
Yeah, about 28 seconds. now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So step by step, you're going with palm, and then in between the fingers, and then the thumbs, and then the back of the hand,
Up to the wrist.
up to the wrist. Don't forget your wrist, and then you do the inside of the palm with your fingertips,
Your
Okay.
nails.
and then you rinse. Well, that's
What is important here for people
And
who
dry.
do not have running water, this water that is in this bowl, your hands should only touch it once when you wet your hands.
That's it.
You shouldn't put your hands
Back
back
into
in
that
the
water.
same water because the germs is already in there. So you need to rinse with clean water in a different bowl.
So you are wearing jewelry. Should you take it off before you wash
Right.
your hands?
Right, you should.
Okay,
take
we're
off
just
Should,
checking. Yeah.
Because it's wet. And you see, I have to hold it
Okay.
and ensure that it's dry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right?
So how do the kids react when you give them all these steps?
Actually, they like it. And one of the things that we need to be careful of as well is also teaching them how to conserve water. While washing your hands properly does not mean you need to waste water. We need to conserve the water, so we need to teach them that
Yeah.
as well.
Okay.
Yeah. And so the teachers, of course, have to make it very fun for them.
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
yes. They love to sing that song and wash their hands, you
I
know.
saw the cutest video online, which was a child who had given each step a name. So I think, I'm trying to remember what it was. This one was pray. And then this one was butterfly.
Oh, nice.
And then the back of the hands was pet
Creative.
the dog. And then the church steeple, I think. Oh, that was
Okay.
it. But this one was the funniest one. This one was spiders.
Spiders.
So it's like going through all the
Yes.
animals. And, you know, I think things like that can really get kids.
Yes.
They're like, I'm petting the dog. Or,
Yes.
Primary
And
kids
it's
like to
very
have
important
fun, so-
because if you do your hands like this, some of us, you can't get in
You don't
here.
get
so
the
you,
palm.
right,
So
you have to do
here.
this
Yeah.
to get in here.
You have to do
And one of the
spiders.
ways we do that is by putting glitters on the hands. And then we show them how if they wash their hands, the glitter remains if they don't do that.
Wash it too properly.
You know, so that's a way that we demonstrate it to them and show them
all
how
right. So who's going to do the demo today? You or me? Who has the dirtier hands?
You know what?
I'll do it this time.
Yeah, all right, cool.
All right. So I'll do this one.
Okay.
So technically, you should take off your jewelry, you said. Okay.
Take off jewelry. First things first, take off jewelry.
Okay.
Then we'll be dipping water. All right, so let's do it. Ready, set, let's do it.
All right. So we're going to get it wet. And
Let's
I
do
need
it
some
one.
soap.
Let's do it one more. All right.
Miss Jessie said no waste water.
All right. Then soup.
Yeah.
All right. So here we go.
So you don't want to be, I was going to say, don't be stingy with the soap, but this is a lot. All right, so now the important part is getting that lather, you said. You want it to look soapy, soapy.
Right, because that is what lifts the germs from your hands.
So we do
Lathering
palms,
with palm.
and then remind me, it's in between.
Yes.
So we're pulling the fingers through
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
on each end. All right, who's timing it?
You're not singing.
And okay, so
Yeah,
we're
we're not
going to
singing
tell me
the
the
song.
song, then we'll sing the song.
Yeah.
This is the way we wash our hands. Right?
Yes.
Wash our hands, wash our hands. This is the way we wash our hands, all the way up to the palm. The wrist?
All the way to the palm.
The wrist.
Oh, yeah, that.
And then the thumb.
The thumb, yes.
I gotta admit, before the COVID outbreak, I didn't remember my thumbs quite often.
All right.
And then it's the
Spider.
inside
Inside.
of the palm and the fingertips.
Oh, soap smell good too. Yes, and then we
Fresh and
We didn't do cupping.
No, we didn't do the cupping.
nails.
There we go.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
All
back to
right,
one.
and that would be it.
Yes. Yeah, that was about 45 seconds. Good, good.
I did the extended version with the tutorial. I didn't get very much on my wrist,
All right, so
but
let's get some more.
yeah.
All right, one more. Waste water. All right, there we go.
Now,
Then,
thank you. You mentioned that one of the things that can be done, that you don't want to undo everything you just did with cleaning your hands. So you want to use the paper to
yes, to
close
turn
off
the facet. Yes,
tight
you
off,
use the paper to turn off the facet.
and maybe
And
even
also-
open that doorknob.
Right, I was just going to say that you need to open the doorknob and then you turn around and put the paper in the garbage.
in the garbage.
Yes.
All right.
So maybe it's a good thing to keep your bathroom door open. I mean, when you're washing your hands.
Yeah. So,
So that you don't have to touch the handles. Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So tomorrow is going to be that big day of the National Hand Washing Day and Public Education Campaign. So again, we start in the schools, and this is countrywide, right? All right. So what's going to be the start of the day? How are we going to do this again?
Okay, they're going to go to the schools. Every teacher is supposed to monitor what is happening in their classrooms. They're going to schools, washing their hands before they get into the classroom. And they go into the schools. The teacher are going to be teaching the lesson as per age appropriateness, having them do posters or do song competition or do any, anything that they think would be good for the students to learn and to be able to
Have fun with it,
consistently
yes.
have fun with it and go back to their parents and talk about it.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to say is that we have a school health day manual,
Oh.
and this school health day manual, they could get it online through the Ministry of Health. They could look it up because it has a lot of really good activities that deals from pre to the upper level.
Okay.
And it works, it deals with, look at it, it says hand washing day.
Yeah.
wow.
So
Yeah.
there's an activity that deals with hand washing, and it gives a step-by-step information as to what they're supposed to have known before, what they're supposed to learn, what equipments they're supposed to be using for that day, and how they would be able to, put the activities in place.
Yeah.
And have certain strategies where they would be able to see if it was worth it, if the activity was worth it. So, and also maintaining behavior, because many times these kids would go home and they'd say, okay, you can go home now, and you can tell mommy and daddy what you've learned,
Yeah.
and you can practice what
Yeah.
you've learned at home,
Yeah.
right? And we have, let me just go, we have this, this activity here that deals with, it deals with, look at it again, it says hygiene.
Yes.
So it has the portion that deals with hygiene, and we have a hygiene day.
Okay.
It doesn't necessarily, it speaks to hand washing, but it's taking care of the body,
Yeah.
right? And then all students or all classes should have what you call a hygiene corner, what we call an HFLE corner. And this corner is supposed to be well equipped with all the different tools and the equipments or whatever you need for keeping your body clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are hoping that all these corners are well stocked and that everybody is on point with all the materials that they would need for tomorrow, for the hand washing day.
Yeah.
And that it continues, not only just for tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
It continues, and the behavior change is there.
And so tomorrow for National Hand Washing Day, definitely there'll be activities in the schools, but it doesn't mean, and especially at this time, that businesses and companies can't adopt something to
yeah.
focus on proper hand washing. Now I know there are teams that are going out to different businesses teaching people the basics of how to prevent virus transmission. Does Red Cross have people
Yeah,
available?
we will be at the
Okay.
Battlefield Park
Okay,
doing
great.
hand washing tomorrow.
Great.
So
Great.
people can feel free to stop by.
And we will be in the schools just popping in, and we will be touching base and seeing what's taking place in a lot of different schools. So guys, be assured that we'll be in your schools, hoping to see that all of these that we're talking about is being done in your schools, and that students are talking about it openly.
Excellent.
And I must say that the multi-sectorial WASH group is working on the SOP for
SOP?
the standard operating procedure for health and hygiene. It's a we are trying to make it a national policy to go into the curriculum for all schools, and it also deals with menstrual hygiene.
Excellent.
So we are here to stay. We
definitely.
you know.
Yeah, yeah. Because a lot of our illnesses are preventable.
Right,
And
right.
if we practice proper hygiene, from hand washing to properly cleaning your body, that, you know, there's a lot of things you can prevent.
Right. That is
Thank you
true.
so much. We
Thank
have
you.
learned once again, we can never stop learning about how to wash our hands properly. And as we said, if you feel particularly helpless when you look at everything that's going on, wash your hands. You know you're doing your part then,
Yes.
right?
And keep your hands away from your face.
That's a tough one, but we
That's
need to
Keep your
learn it.
hands
We
away
need
from your
someone
face.
to come teach us how to do that. I must admit, and I'm
That's
sure
the
anybody
hard
can
part.
hold me accountable here. I struggle with it. I'm trying to like
You're
deep
trying.
prayer most of the time to prevent it, but it is important as well, because
Yes.
now,
Right.
you know,
is.
that's
Right.
part of the transmission. But thank you, ladies, and
Thank
best
you.
of
Well,
luck.
Thank you for having us.
If you're in Belize City, you go by Battlefield Park tomorrow, and you can get this demonstration in
Yes.
person and learn the important skills for yourself.
Yes,
All right.
Thank you.
definitely.
We're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about International Social Work Day. Please stay tuned.